Hello, can you hear me, Mr. John? Yes, but I can't hear to pick your voice. Can you hear me? Yes, I know you can hear me, but I can't seem to be able to hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now? Hello? Okay, I can hear myself. Hello? Okay. So speaking sound from here. Then I'm
Hello, sorry, I'm struggling to hear you. Oh, I'm gonna have to come back in. Let me come back in. I can hear you at all.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay. So you can hear me now, Ba?
exactly. But it's giving echo. Better now.
I'll fix it. So everything I've been saying since now, nobody's hearing me.
At all.
Oh goodness.
So, but I was the one that came on board to say I can hear you.
No, actually, PT was here earlier, and unfortunately, we are live. But PT was here earlier, and he's still here, but he told me that he's having network issues. So he told me he can't hear me, but I tried troubleshooting it. I could. I will try it again. So, but you can hear me, right? Right?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay. So yeah, PT said he's having network issues.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I will be on the lookout for him. I just want to see maybe I can add my seriously. This is very serious. We're already live anyways. But thank you so much,
Yeah,
Victor. Thank you so much for joining in. I know you had a very busy day. I know you had
seriously
a very
one.
busy day. Thank you so much.
Serious one.
Thank you so much.
So this has been awesome being here, and I'm so excited. So excited. Woo!
I'm coming. Don't worry. We would edit the video on YouTube. Sorry, those people that are for some of us that we are live, we are sorry. I mean, we're having technical issues this night, but we are about to fix it now. Okay. So I want to tell me to confirm. Can
There's echo now.
okay? So what do I do?
We can hear you now, but there's echo.
Okay. All right. So let's continue. I will just have to restart my phone. I want to use my phone camera, but I guess somebody else or something else is using my mic. So that's the reason why you can't
Exactly.
hear me on that. So let me just restart. So, Victor, once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you
Just
so
like I
much.
was
It's a
saying
wonderful.
earlier, but nobody heard what I was saying. Interestingly, for about 15 minutes that I was talking, nobody was hearing me. So, but just like
I'm
I was
sorry
said
about.
earlier, that I believe, thank you. I believe a lot of people have learned a lot from the previous edition of Brotherhood, and building strong bonds or cultivating strong bonds among fellow men. Because one of the things we've observed is that men really are not appreciated, and men also do not take time to 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 appreciate themselves, right? And it's let me see, okay. So men don't take time to appreciate themselves. You know, we did something last week. Interestingly, last week was Men's or Father's Day, and
Exactly.
we did something in our church, or I don't know, maybe you've seen it on social media, where they would write a short note and give it to a member of the church. All right. So we wrote short notes and just to celebrate the fathers in the church. And we had one of my guys there had camera just to video to be able to see their reactions. And
Mm.
interestingly, we just one of the things we just concluded is that a lot of people or a lot of men are really not appreciated, and they're actually doing their best. All right, their best, or the what is the best may not be up to some people's expectation, or let me say up to the society's expectation. But one thing
Mm.
that is certain is that they are doing their best. And if we
Very true.
ever want them to do more, we have to appreciate them for what they've done. Right.
Exactly. That's very true. That's very true.
So, Victor, tonight, since I can't get PTO online, although it's on the studio, boys, PT, can you hear me, sir? All right. So I guess the
Yes,
network
I
is.
can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
I apologize. My network has been blessed.
Yes, I
But is it
actually
proper now?
mentioned.
Is it am I audible?
Yes, very audible. Although we can't see you, but you are
Oh
very
good.
audible.
Good. Okay.
Victor, are you still with me?
Very well, sir.
All right. All right. Once
That's to
again, I
work a
want to
little
say,
on my line.
you say what?
I'm working a little on my line.
Okay, sir. Okay, good. Thank God we are back. The devil tried, or maybe it's not the devil, maybe it's the internet. I remember when I was in Kebbi, Apostle Joshua Sulaiman came for a crusade in Kebbi State then during my service year.
Okay.
And so the generator went off. I mean, a lot of things. So people started praying. God for. He said, no, 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 no. He said, this is not the work of the devil. He said, this is not the work of the devil. It's people that are in charge. He said, don't pray for the devil. There is nothing. This generator that you see that is going off is not devil's work. It's people's work. All right. So leave the
That's
devil out of it.
that's that's Nigeria's mentality most
Uh,
times. Of course,
yeah.
although there may be 1% sometimes spiritual for things that happen, but lack of
Mm-hmm.
preparation usually causes all our mishaps that we don't bother to take care of some of those things, and we blame God for it, blame the devil for it, and we don't take what's it called? We don't take responsibility for our
Mm.
actions and our inactions. So those things really affect us a lot, and it's just what it is. Nigeria is just so religious, so religious. But it's a
True,
good
true.
one. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much. Victor, so I will just go this way. All right, let me try something again. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. But it's echoing.
All right. Yeah, I think I'll fix that now. Okay. So let me take this guy off stage now. All right. Tonight is a PT. Are you with us? Okay. So, Victor, I'm going to go this way. I would, Pity, if you can hear me, you can just leave a chat so that I will know that you are with us. All right. So, Victor, I will go this way. Instead of the way we did it last week, giving you the option to choose the questions, I will just choose the question since, okay, PT is gone again. So I will choose the questions. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well.
All right, good. So I will just choose the question just to make the conversation very interactive. And PT, are you with us? Can you hear us? All right, good.
So yeah, we can just continue. So it will be able to sink in.
Right. So I'm going to throw in the first question. Of course, we are going to exclude the questions that you answered last week. So I have this particular question. I don't know if you can see it on your personal experience. And he
Yes, yes,
said,
please.
"What's the funniest adventure you have had with a male friend, and what did you learn from it?"
The funniest adventure.
What is
Let
the
me see.
funniest adventure you have, and what you learn from it?
Well, I'm thinking mostly almost every outing that I've had with my male counterpart, there have always been a female counterpart over there. So I'm trying to brainstorm as far back if there's going to be one. Um, but literally, let me just pick on the one that constitutes both the two parties. For me, I feel it's always very fun to have that resting face. It's not every time that you become so worky, so busy, and all that. For especially for people in the tech space, they could really suffer so much for this that they just work all the time and not have time to play. You understand? So that was one of the things in which I had to even get myself off as early as possible because and currently that's one of the things in which I'm also thinking because I don't want to work all through my life. So on this particular outing which we are together, it was just more of that vibe of talk, the vibe of getting yourself out. And that time we have some real-time communication about relationship. I mean, this was just as far back as not so long, rather, back far back as December. And what I could say I could learn from that is there are quite a lot of things that comes with openness that we both out of vibe for. So when you go out with your male counterparts, it's much more real. Number one. Number two, this person very much also understand your person, understand what you are. Let me use the word of Jesus, your kind of infirmity, because he could have gone through it, or he is going through it, or he will go through it. So is any of those three. So usually the conversation are much more deep, much more than the other sex, in which both of you are a little bit. Because I do, for me, I do believe, based on several examples, that male and female has different ways in which they were being fashioned. I mean, the fashioning is very, very different from the way we men are being created. I thought what vibes with us are not the things that vibes with them. What moves us are not the things that moves them. I don't know if you understand. So when you now begin to have those kind of conversations with your kind of sex, I mean your same sex, I mean male to male, it's much more on a higher energy level. So in that kind of experience that we had, it was so fun, number one, that it helped us to relax off all work's responsibilities per se as a man. Every time you're thinking of oh doing this, doing that, and you don't even have time for yourself and all that. So it's really helped us to really having fun. Number two, it helps us also be able to share some of our man-to-man problems. That's we could really go. So that's one of the fantastic things in which I could really put it. So and that was nothing so much. You just have to just go out to Agodi Garden here in Ibadan. And that day, fortunately for us, there was a very big event in which we just farms with. So very wonderful time to network with a lot of people. So it was very wonderful moment for all of us. Very wonderful moment for all of us. Yeah, so that's it.
Right. Thank you so much. And I guess from what you are saying, it's something that should also be encouraged. You know, many a times, especially
Exactly.
for we guys, we look for matters before we meet. Like let us meet, then there is problem. I mean, if there was a meeting, then there is a problem, right? But if we could just set
So
out moments whereby, okay, it's not like there is problem, let's just have a moment to flex or to relax or just to, it's not something serious. All right. And I think it's something that for some of us that we are maybe currently in a position to mentor others, we can also, reach
mm,
out to people that, just call somebody, okay, let's go to one maybe restaurant and let's just talk. It's not something big. All right. Let's just sit down on the table. I remember I did that
exactly.
with a young man, I think last year, right? So I just said, okay, he's a Futarian. So I said, oh yeah, come and meet me in the chicken rep. All right. And we bought one or two and okay, yeah, just talk to me. Let's just talk. All right, there wasn't anything serious. We just talked about 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and that was it. All right, because moments like that
Yeah, that's a great.
can make us relaxed and be able to share one or two things together. Right.
I think that's a very wonderful point in which you just pointed out a very good example of creating platforms. Beyond just, I think that aspect is what I also need to intentionally start doing. Of course, I do have a outing with some male friends, but not on the other side of maybe mentor to mentee or that's kind of
Mm,
employer to employee. Of course, in my establishment, one of my goals is the fact that at the end of the year we could have some retreat programs like retreats, meetings, going out, traveling. I once talked about it last year. We could not have it last year, so I've already told them this year that this year before the end of the year, we want to just and these are basically all male counterparts. So let's just go out. It could just be like you're going to Lagos, lodging, and we're just having fun generally. And at that time, I believe usually even problems for companies are better solved on those platforms because people are scared to tell
true.
you your own wrongs. But those means of okay, they shame you, okay, I'm pissed at what you did. I've been on my mind, I'm leaving your company
Mm,
because of this thing that I'm doing. I'm gonna keep focused and all that. So it looks very menial. And one thing I do tell people is that what brings that big solution is not always the big things, but they are the small things. Let me give an instance which backed that up, and then I will just stop there. There was a company that was really having a very awful struggle. I had this testimony about 2018, and over the course of the weekend, this one was just thinking, was just thinking, and something just popped up in that can you just pay all your staff salary and give them bonus? All the debts in which you owe them, I mean, you has owed them a lot of salaries ahead of time. Like, I mean, it's almost about 3 months. I was like, apart from paying up all their fees, I mean, this was a company that is struggling. Almost every struggling company would just think of just packing up, releasing their staffs and all that. You know that immediately after he did that, pay their salary and give them bonus freely. He said in just about maybe a month to 3 months, the returns of the company skyrocketed in ways unimaginable.
mm,
These were the people that when they were doing fine, they were not getting this figure which they were getting. But just by literally obeying certain rule, I feel there could be a mystical part of this in terms that in terms of spiritual implication of what was done by giving. But beyond that, when I come to area of psychology, people respond to honor when they see honor. Nobody has ever seen honor and despised honor. In fact, let me say something. Like today, I was that was one of the things that really kept me a little bit out. I was in Tech Expo and I just met a guy. I mean, just a marketer. Literally, every marketer is just they'll just be spoken to Ashley or just hear what they want to say. They don't value them. And I looked at him and I said, "This is just a male guy. This also backs up what we're saying that men It's almost strange for men to receive honor these days. So I just
Mm.
looked at him. He was putting on just good attire and all that. There are two ladies in the hub there. And I looked at him and I complimented him so well that I love you. You look so great. You're looking amazing. Like you're looking very handsome. That was what I said. You're looking very handsome. I love your attire. I mean, you could see the gesture coming out of him. He was just so happy and just blushing. So you have to just call the attention of the two ladies standing very close. I was like, can you imagine? He said, "I'm very handsome. Touch you, touch you." Like you could see the joy coming out of him. So come and see the jealousy coming out of the lady. She was like, why will you compliment him? And can you see the wrong system and the ideology in which we're talking about? So people
Mm.
are feeling, I mean, the lady is feeling bad that I'm complimenting a man. Not so bad, but you could see that level of jealousy exuding from him. I mean, exuding from her. Are you serious? You're complimenting a man when you see two ladies there. So
Are you a
ladies are
gay?
almost feeling, yeah, you could imagine that. You could imagine quite a lot. A lot. I mean, I do that intentionally. In fact, I still did that this morning when I saw a man having about having a wife and then about three kids. I mean, three or four kids. They were on the same attire. So I was just complimenting the family, and I looked at the man and I said, oh God, you are doing very well. So he saw me as just a mere youth that probably this guy is not even married or what he say. So he was just typing. Can you see? So he just looked at me a little bit shabbily until I solved a particular problem with the elevator. That was when the conversation loop was so sweet. But earlier to that time, something was happening. That's the attention I want to bring. The man was feeling like, why will a man be complimenting me for doing well as a family man? But we men are hiding the emotional part of us, which is the big part
Mm.
that is killing most of us. So if you tell a guy right now that you're looking very handsome, he almost is feeling like, is this guy again? Like just like you said. Number two,
Uh, Yeah. Or is he
does he
whining
feel
me?
that? Is he whining me? You get the old gist. So we have not learned on how to receive love. Very, very important. We need to learn how to receive. There's a giving love that comes from man, literally. But men does not understand how to receive love back, which is a big reciprocal of what is needed. I mean, at some point in my life, I think around 2019, when I was in leadership, I was serving at almost like the topmost level in that particular organization system. But it came to a time after about 6 months or 7 months in the service that I was dry, like literally dry. And what was causing the dryness was the fact that I was not feeling the vibe of people loving me back. And number one, number two, there are a lot of backstabbing words, backbites that were coming from the people in which I was so much invested, my time so much invested, finances so much invested, quite a lot of time. You understand my point now? So at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, I was feeling like, are these the people? Are they really worth this energy point in which I'm giving? Are they really worth this? In fact, sometimes when I want to come up to talk to them, I feel the fact that I was feeling people's thoughts. It can be my own imagination, but I was feeling people's thoughts.
Mm.
I was thinking, this is looking at me, he's looking down on me, and that thing are coming to my head. But at that time, I was so much hungry for love. I was looking for one of even my cabinet members to say, Victor, please give me, I mean, what do you want to eat today? Like food, food. I was like, can you just give me cooler, like we call it cooler ministry, Tekus. That's the ancient and modern ministry. I will need for cooler ministry. And some, I mean, just a sister, a brother telling me, bro, I was thinking about you, and that I want to just encourage you that you're doing well. In fact, even just word, but something happened as if God knew that was what I was looking for. That's why people who pretend as if they don't need love, at the end of the day, they are the big detriment of emotional decadence. Like they're emotionally down all the time. They are thinking so they don't know what's the cause. The reason is because they don't feel honored,
Mm.
they don't feel loved, they don't feel valued. So this particular time, it was just not quite long. As if God knew that this was what I needed. Somebody just walked up to me. We were
Mm.
finished just about 4 hours meeting, just a breakout section. I just went into my room to just have a rest. As I was just resting, a guy just walked in, a lower level to myself, in which I was in 500 level then. He was in about 300 level or 200 level precisely. He said, I was the president. Pressy, you are doing very well. Like we're really enjoying all the things. Here's me thinking maybe I'm wasting my time. Here's me thinking maybe people are not being blessed by my service to them. Here's me thinking, am I really doing so well? So by him just coming around to just tell me all those was like, it was like somebody who has been hungry for food for a month, and in my own case, I've been hungry for love for like a month, and somebody just walked in,
Hmm.
just about 3 minutes section. He just spoke the word, and that was the end of it. I felt like, wow, if I can have somebody who could be so bold enough to come and tell me this, that means I could have about five or 20 or 30 or 40 somewhere who are feeling the vibe of what I'm doing. And I feel like I'm not wasting time. I don't know if you're getting my point. So in the other case
Hmm.
scenario, telling that man, guy, you are trying as a family man. It's feeling like it's a normal thing for me to do. What do you think? What do you like? Why are you thanking me? But really, we all need that as singles, as youths, to be honored, to be appreciated, and as many more of things you which you could think about. In fact, in the course of my relationship, sometimes I tell my fiance there that please come and take me out. But you know the funny thing, at the end of the taking out, she actually took me out that day, or we took ourselves out. She paid for some things, and at the end of the day, I still paid. Let's say the whole outing in which I said, "Come and spoil me." The spoiling show, which was supposed to be 100% sponsorship on our bills, at the end of the day, we still have to share it. But that's filled up a gap in me that Victor, it's not just about you giving. You understand? We need
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
we need to talk about it. If you are feeling unloved, you can talk about it. Ask about it. Sometimes I tell my wife, babe, I want to feel on top of the world today. You understand? Because I just want her to speak my language of honor at that time. I want her to speak a language of appreciation at that time. You understand? So you can talk to your other male counterparts, bro. I'm feeling down. Just come and spoil me with words. You understand? At least a good
Mm-hmm.
friend, if you really have a good friend, such person will understand that this person need this at this time. It's only a bad friend. That's why you don't know how to keep a bad friend. Like I can talk, Oga John, hey, my emotion don't and see, I don't lose hope for this life. Come and cheer me up.
Hmm.
And with some words of
True.
encouragement, I mean, and that's what I do for
Hmm.
every time I meet with people. I talk about their good things, talk about their good memories, and people feel valued, and that's just what life is just all about. That's so. Let me not talk too much. So that's one of the wonderful things. Welcome back, Mr. Tolase, my wonderful pastor.
Thank you
Let me
so
be there.
much
So
for
thank
that comment, sir. Thank you so
yeah.
much. Thank you so much for that. You know, one thing about stories. Oh my goodness. One thing about stories is that people find it easy to relate with. In fact, you know,
Exactly.
one beautiful
Exactly.
thing there is that people can actually put themselves into that condition and know that okay, yeah, this particular experience, that means I am not the only one, you know, having this particular experience. I'm not,
Exactly.
you know, I'm not the only one in this particular stage in my life. All right. So thank you so much
In
for
fact,
that. I want to go to, yeah, okay, I'm with you.
no. Like just to back that up, it was one of the first things that first solved the problem before somebody came on board to tell me those good things. The fact that when I worked with
Mm,
somebody, which is a male person as well, who has been in leadership position just like I did, he told me of his experience. I felt like, wow, I'm not the only one in these shoes. What leads to
mm.
what leads to people committing suicide is because they feel like the only one passing through that same thing in the whole world. They feel like nobody else has
Sure.
felt that pain, has recovered from that pain. But if everybody could know that what you're passing through right now is just a phase, and they are going to get over it
Mm,
just in one time. If everybody knows that what they are passing through has a solution, somebody has passed through that and they has come over it, surely nobody will think of committing suicide. I don't know if you understand. So
mm.
that's just it. Feel free to talk to people about your problem. Share it, even if the person doesn't have a solution. But the fact that the person is telling you that I've once been in this shoe is a great succor for you. It's a great succor for you. So that's just it.
Well, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Let me
Yeah.
go to another question. I guess Peter was here earlier, but it's gone again. I guess the network is still. All right. So I have another question here is under challenges and struggles. Okay, this is
Okay,
another
let's just
story question. He said, all right. Hello, can you hear me? All right, PT is back. Hello, PT, can you hear us? Can you hear me? All right. Thank you so much for those that are still watching us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you are learning one or two things from this particular episode. All right. Hello, Pete, can you hear us? Can you hear me? Okay. So, Victor, there is another question here under challenges and struggles. And this is a story or personal experience kind of question. He said, have you ever experienced feelings of loneliness or isolation despite having friends around? What do you think contributes to those feelings?
Okay. Can you come again with the question? Let me
Have you
if I
ever
believe.
experienced feelings of loneliness or isolation despite having friends around? What do you think contributed to those feelings?
Okay, just like I just recently shared, I want to try and turn to landscape so that I could be able to. Yeah, can you still see me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I been in the state of loneliness? Yes. The answer is yes, 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 and yes. Just like I just shared with you. Um, there have been times whereby I feel down, I feel lonely. In fact, some statistics even say that there are married people who are as isolated as being single. They're living single life, although they have a wife that probably, I mean, of course, not probably, every day they sleep together in the same bed, but there's still level of loneliness. And what causes loneliness and isolation? What causes loneliness and isolation is that you are not able to share your heart, you're not sharing your body, or you are sharing to somebody who does not value what you are sharing. People have
Mm,
been through problems that when they share to friends, they don't take them serious. Like now, the fact that I want you to tell me that you passed through it, just like I said earlier on, does not mean I'm just telling you for telling sake. I'm telling you because I believe it can also solve my problem.
true.
I don't know if you understand. So,
Yeah.
if you're going through situations and you're seemingly stuck in it, you feel like you are alone in this journey. If you're going through situations and you're sharing with your friends and they're not vibing with you at that level in which you're so serious about, let me take for instance, there was a time I I was into a kind of business that was like a forex trading business. And I was talking to my friend in which I was dealing with his brother in particular without the bone of contention. The money in the business went down, that everything just went haywire, and this person was already threatening that he wants to really bring me down. So I was so mad, I was so angry, I was so depressed, and I felt as a brother, as a friend to me, you can really be able to help out in this particular situation. So I spoke to you, I come to you, I discuss with you, but at the end of the day, it was like there's something about it. It's not something that kept me down at home. So much of a heartache, like I was having serious heartbeats that those periods, if a gunshot could happen around, I can't tell you where I'm going to be. Probably in a state of coma. My hand was literally shaking. So here am I talking to my friend about this problem. Like, yeah, you really know I can solve this problem. Can you help me talk to this person to scale down a bit, give me more time and all of that? And it was like, forget about it. So I felt beyond just forget about it, you can do something about it. You could put a
Mm,
call through, give a promise. You understand? Take some level of action. At least give it some level of encouraging words, even if you can't do anything at the end of the day. But he was saying, don't worry, forget about it, and you're not doing anything about it. So at that period, I felt so much down. At those periods, suicide was also a secondary thought to me. It was not primary. Primarily, I was looking for how to get myself out of the old debt wahala. But
mm,
secondarily, I was thinking of suicide. I was thinking of how can I go about it because at that time, thoughts were coming to me. This was me for almost 5 years before that time. I was laying good legacy about my personality. I was laying good legacy about God that I believe in. I was a kind of figure in a particular kind of ways. But here am I. almost drowned in this situation. Nobody can help me. This person is threatening to almost derail everything, publicly push me down, write me off, use police to arrest me, bring cultists from whatever state in which he is. I was so scared. So, and I was so scared. I was talking to someone that can help. This person was not taking me serious. So, this is a spot in which I wasn't. And really, what really helped me out in that period was just God. I mean, after taking time to just pray, because I was like, there's really nothing that I can do. Every day in, day out, I was working like I was not working because at the end of the month, I'm using that money to pay my debt because it's had to almost take about 4 months to pay up the whole debt of, I mean, not to even get any money from whatever you earning. So that's crazy as that. I just prayed, and one of the strategies that God just gave me was the fact that let me just message this person. That was why I said it was more spiritual because everything I said, I've spoken to this person before in the same limelight. Maybe a touch of God, let me know if maybe the touch of God made a difference at this time. That's why I always employ that everybody be spiritual. Life is 90% spirituality, 10% humanity. 90% spirituality and 10% humanity. So we need to be very spiritual because not everything can be solved just by just human things. So this same method of reaching out to him, begging him, apologizing to him was the same thing I did, but with another different backing, God's backing at this time. And so I just put
Mm.
up a test to him, a long test. I just apologized to him that seriously, I this and that, the same kind of settings I'm saying, the same kind of story I'm saying. But this same story meant different things to him. And he was like, okay, you know what? Don't worry about all this money. I was like, are you serious? I'm even asking to give me more time, but yeah, you are saying don't worry about the money. So can I see the spiritual aspect of what I'm talking about? So really, I'll just tell anybody going through that phase. So not give up. Talk to your best friend, which is God, or better understand your infirmity than any human being. In case any human being is not
Mm.
giving you listening here, you can trust your God. And if you're a Christian, that's a greater plus for you because you have the Holy Spirit. So you can talk to the Holy
Mm.
Spirit about whatever you're going through. There's some problems as a married man that your wife will not even understand you. You can't even explain it. You yourself does not even have words to say. You get my point now. They are just inner struggles that you're feeling. I mean, generally, most men are introverts to their problem because they are more problem solvers than what's it called? Than love receiver, than gifts receiver. I mean,
Mm.
that's just it. Let me not talk too much. I will have talked about a scenario that really picked up on me, but let me not talk too much. The major thing when you're going through this isolation process, try your best to look for people who can give you listening ears and take actions to what you are going to be saying. But in case you're not saying, you have another best comforter, you have another best helper to help you out of this problem, and that's God through the Holy Spirit. So that's just it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that wonderful comments. And just like you said, Victor, I think one thing whenever we have that feeling of loneliness is to try as much as possible not to be boxed in. All right,
Mm,
because many a times the first thing or first response is to fall back to our shell. All right,
exactly.
and especially for guys, is to try as much as possible to prove that you are smart by solving it alone. Because we just have that mentality that I mean, you are smart if you solve it. If you do it alone, you are that shows that you are smart. All right, but I think the beauty of smartness is, this conference you invited me to. What's the name? This event that we still talked about
Every
today. You know,
easier
one of
by design.
yeah,
Wherever
one of
meet
the
is
things that yeah, one of the things that I learned there is is I mean it's counterintuitive, but I mean this guy is saying it and he has the result. Is that the you get better in your business if you let people do certain processes for you. All
okay,
right, if you
sure.
are not the one, you are not the marketing, you are not the this one. And I think that is the beauty of success. That's okay, you have people there. Because I personally, I was just looking at some things I've done recently. I brought in somebody into my team, and doing design. I'm the designer, I'm the initiator, but I just threw the burden. I taught somebody design, and I threw the burden of design to her, and I just discovered that. So I have more time to focus on many other things. There was something we are still talking about today, and I just feel like, okay, if I have somebody else to handle this, then I will be more
Exactly.
focused on doing better things. By the time I'm able to master those things, ask somebody else. So I think this is a strategy that guys can venture into, that you
Mm.
don't always have to be the only one solving your problem. All right.
Yes.
Yes, be the initiator, be the frontliner, be the forerunner, but try as much as possible, seek out, especially whenever one is facing loneliness. Try as much as possible, reach out to people, talk to God. All right. Because most times prayer is one of the last thing you want to do. In fact, at that time you don't even feel like praying. You feel like this thing is knowledge thing. It's because of something I don't know. As much as that is true, also pray about it. And Victor, I'm sorry, you are the only one, you know, battling with my question tonight, but
No problem.
but we
Go
can do
for it.
it. So, but briefly, what we'll do is that I will just push out some few other questions, then we call it a wrap. All right. I'll just take one question from all the categories I have here. All right. So the next category I'm going to now is building strong bonds. So I have the question here. He said, "Can you share a time?" He said, "Can you share a time when you took a risk in a friendship that paid off? What was the outcome?" You took a risk. Maybe you put down your neck for a friend or for a friendship, and it paid off. Of course, there are many risks we took that didn't pay off, but which of those was paid off and what was the outcome?
To be very frank, I'm almost seeing the ones that are not paying off than the ones that paid off. Probably because of the adage that says that ẹni tó yàgbẹ́ kò mọ̀ ẹni tó kó ló mọ̀ ẹni tó ṣòro. You understand?
Mm,
So I
mm,
think generally people literally almost pinpoint the bad scenarios rather than the good. But really, there have been good investments in friends that have highly paid off so well. So well. And maybe one form that I could remember there, one of my conference, which I don't want to mention the name. I mean, this was somebody that was not so good in terms of skill as much as I do. And I had to start putting myself to a little box so that this person can be able to also earn, at least make things work. So we just started so rough, getting services done by him, get the project, get the service done by him, let him get the money and all of that. So it's paid off because now this person is doing very fantastically well. In fact, at some point in time, this person even earns much more than I do on a monthly basis. So it was a really worth it. Every time I look back and it's one of the good testimonies that kind of vibes me of that Victor, you're not wasting your time. You understand? I feel like I'm not wasting my time.
mm,
Secondly, there was this person too, which some of the things that also gives me joy was having to put my name on the line in terms of referrals. And not just kind of referrals.
mm,
It's not just any kind of referral. Projects that's supposed to have been issued to you, which you could have done. But just said, okay, since I know that this person needs it much more than I do. Of course, I have the skill set that could accomplish it. Of course, I can just take maybe a little while to learn, maybe few hours to learn more, to do that in task to the level of quality that's required. But I was like, I have something that's still giving me some money. But this is the person who needs it much more than I do. So why don't I just give that off and give the opportunity off to this person? That's why I just said, hey
mm,
bro, I'm referring you to this person. And really, I'm so happy that at least there are quite a lot of massive return on a monthly basis. This person at this point in time is even thinking beyond just even that kind. He's thinking globally. So thinking, how can I also have my business? How can I set up this? How can I set up that? For me, it's my own utmost joy. I may not even get any value back from it financially, but the fact that I see myself being part of people's story is is my
mm,
highest pay. is my SP on my payslip, honestly speaking. In fact, at some point, that's why sometimes I'm dedicating almost all this year, and I'm thinking on a much more beyond scale to help quite a lot of people. About 3 months, I'm having that cycle of training guys. I've had mostly guys on my network in this training section. I don't know why, but I feel maybe they are the ones that are more interested. But it gives me joy. That's just what I'm trying to say. That I'm trying to put a cycle of people over now and then into a system that at least let a financial problem be solved. Let the term called financial problem let it be solved in your life. Because I always believe that when financial problem is solved, the rest is just 30%. So in this aspect, the story that I just mentioned was a life skill scenario of me supposedly I'm supposed to have an additional streams of income coming to me monthly, but I just say this person needs much more than I do. Like for
Mm.
me, it's more. It's not for me. It's not the matter of what to eat or what to drink. You understand what I'm trying to say? But this will help this person much more than you do. So let me just give it over. And so for me, I'm so happy. I'm so really happy. This is just about 3 months down the line. I'm so happy because I see the great things in which this person is doing, and I'm so happy about it. So that's one of the things that really paid off for me. I really love and hope to do many more. So for me, I'm even connecting with a lot of people, not because I need those opportunities, because I want
Mm.
to push people into those space. But most of the meetups that I have, big meetups that I have today, the goal was centrally on how to link people up to great opportunities that are here. And I do tell them, I said that's just my own social delivery service in which I want to just do for people, do for people around me. So I did that for my friend, and I'm so happy. Both friends, the one of freelance space and the one of that particular skill space. I just don't want to mention it. I mean, that really gave me a lot of happiness, very much, very much. So that's just one of the things in which I want to retrain.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, and that's very pure because and it's important that men we do that for each other. It's easier for I don't know how it is or I don't know how it's designed. It's easier for us to do such a thing for a female. All right, maybe so that we'll be liked,
That's the
right?
see, you're saying
But
something now. You're saying something which is the missing link. The missing link was what we first addressed. The reason why
mm,
most men are running away from let me not use the word running away, or the reason why most men will likely want to do it for a woman is because they will get much more compliments from a woman than from
true,
men. So if I'm going to
true.
render a help to a lady right now, you almost say, "Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful. You're the best. I love you. You're doing well." That kind of stuff. But you give a man, they will not even send you a message. They will
Even
not
if
even
you
give
say
you
thank you, it will just be like, bros, thank you. That's all.
You get it. I really appreciate you. There is nothing more. So I feel
Mm,
that's why sometimes you see females at the sales and marketing end because they get sales much more faster because they feel, apart from the ego, the fact that men want to impress the female counterparts, the originality comes from the fact that they feel much more welcome by buying from them. They feel much more value and honor by buying from them. Can women begin to do that
mm,
kind of thing? That whenever anybody throws hands of support, hands of help, you go beyond your way to appreciate such a
mm,
person. I'm telling you,
true.
next time they will value men much more. So the reason why men know they help men in the pigeon form is because men know they value
Men no
men
sabi
back.
appreciate. True,
Men know
true.
they value men back for the thing when men do to men.
Thank you so much. I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, in a Bible study in a church, and my pastor was just basically talking about a lot of people really do not know how to
I'm telling you.
appreciate people. It's something I personally just have to start learning. Many a times because I don't know, maybe it's by design. For example, now somebody I needed to. This one of my communication coach. I've forgotten his name. Is an I've forgotten his where he's from, Asia, sha. So it was the one that said something that a lot of people really do not know how to receive appreciation. All
Very
right.
true.
And because they don't know how to receive appreciation, they don't know how to give appreciation. So for example,
Mm.
now if as at that time, if you come to me and say, John, thank you. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. All right, don't worry. Yeah, thank God, thank God, thank
Exactly.
God. Right. Right. And he said there is no, I mean, just listen to what the person wants to say. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Let the person communicate, and then you can now respond by say, okay, thank you, or you are welcome. All right, glory be to God. But make sure you give out time to listen to what that person is want to say. All right. So
Mm.
also when you also want to give appreciation to people, say it. Don't just, in fact, the way my pastor described it is to pieces it. Mention what the person did, mention the result of I mean, just make
Mm.
sure you elaborate, because the Yoruba said something, said yini yini, katule she
Mm. Yes.
nini, right?
Yes.
If you appreciate someone, the person, irrespective of if the person say, don't worry, don't appreciate me. I don't like people appreciate, it's a lie. Oh. I don't like people
At the back
appreciate.
of your
You better
mind,
appreciate it.
it's saying,
At the back of their mind, the thing is do something. Oh, yeah.
yes, sir.
Or
Yes, sir.
oh yeah. Next time, you know how to appreciate Abi. Right, right. So
Exactly.
thank you so much for that response. So let's take maybe the second to the last question.
Yes, sir.
This is on another theme. Impact of strong relationship. Impact on strong relationship. He said, how have your friendship with other men positively impacted your mental health and well-being? And I want to really talk a little bit about this, because mental health is a big thing, especially in this generation, and especially in a part of the world we often do not talk about mental health. All right. We often do not know much about mental health, and we, especially for the guys, I don't know. I was doing, okay, I think earlier this year, was it earlier this year? No, earlier last year, I was doing a research on mental health, and I found out that men this was a statistics in the United States, that men die, the percentage of people that die of suicide, all right, or that die of depression, men takes a larger percentage than women.
Very
He
true,
said
sir.
it is the woman own that the media will publicize. So we know that this woman died, or this person, but a lot of men die of mental health issues. So I want you to really talk about how can friendship, whether the one you've experienced, or how can friendship, especially with a man, we understand what friendship with opposite sex can do, but how can friendship with a man positively impact your mental health and well-being? Over to you, sir.
Yeah, I feel it's just the summary of everything we've been saying since all those days. I mean, for the part one and then this current section, um, having a good relationship with men helps you to easily pour out your emotions. Number one, pour out your struggles. I was watching a clip on Instagram, and this it was just so accurate. I really wanted to send you. I don't know if I was able to send you that YouTube clip on Instagram. I don't know if you were able to check. It was on the Father's Day, and the guy was talking about the fact that although we are the people that men, I mean, who are the gender that people feel shouldn't be appreciated as much as the big things in which we do, we are the kind of gender that people feel we don't need love. But I feel in the opposite direction, we need it more to bring much more
Mm,
productivity out of what we're doing. Men are
mm,
mostly I mean, when they're mostly in the function of the doing and in the giving. You understand? So people or the sect who are more into giving and the doing should be more appreciated. I don't want to create
mm,
any claw of of stance from the feminist dimension of defense, but that's just the true and I mean the say truth about it. We are the ones that are doing more on a normal real life system. I'm not talking about the absurd level. We are the ones that are doing more. I feel we should be well appreciated for the good things in which we're doing much more. And the reason, just like I mentioned by some of those stories earlier on, is because this mind is a depot that consciously and unconsciously things are depositing into it. Either the goods, either the appreciation, either the casting down, either the talking down, either the I mean the insults, whatsoever, every garbage you could think about and any goodies you could think about. This mind is a depot. And what happened is like that frog dimension or that frog reality. And that's what kills men, just like you mentioned, in terms of suicide or people being murdered. What happened is the fact that men feels I can handle it, I can handle it, I can handle it,
Mm.
I can handle it. The fire in the water is increasing and the frog is adjusting its body temperature to the environment. Oh, should it happened to somebody? He walked over it. It happened to this. And a few months after, you had that terrible incident. While you're trying to help, things happen again. It gets to a time whereby the frog can no longer handle the hot temperature because at that time it probably is 100 degrees Celsius. So hot that the whole skins are burnt off. At that time, even if the frog jumps out, it's going to die of burnings. So that's what happens to us, most especially men. That they bottle their problems, they bottle their experiences, they bottle their emotions. And there's a time whereby there's nothing you can do about such kind of people. I mean, I was talking
Mm.
to somebody today, and while I was in transit, because I love to talk to her, except I'm just so busy. And really, this lady has so much been battered by previous love experience that even me myself, I had to start asking myself a question. Can this person really love a man so genuinely and not bring up the baggage in which he has experienced to the contest? So
Mm.
why did I say that? The reason why I said that was because I feel there's a level you get to is so great ways you could so much be better that it could be very hard to bring you back. If I want to talk
Mm.
spiritually, to encourage you, I would say, oh, God can bring you back. God can comfort you. But I miss that it's going to take time.
Mm.
Let me say 70%, even if God will have to intervene in your life, it will take time to take because these are the things that soul has learned. Your soul now, she was saying that no matter how much, no matter what you want to say it, my mother-in-law will suffer. She will suffer. She will suffer. Like she was saying, I was like, don't you imagine having a good mother-in-law? I said, does not exist. Good mother said, my previous mother-in-law was so good, was this, was that. But when it was time for them to show me Shaggy, they showed me Shaggy without looking back. I was the one pouring out. I was the one doing this. I'm talking about this can also be brought in context to men. We being the giving person, it can be even a relationship with the opposite sex, can be the relationship towards a friend. I mean, let me tell you a funny story. I will try and paint it so that it won't seem in, I can even say it so extrapolative way. Now, there was a friend that helped his schoolmates, which he personally trained. I mean, I heard it firsthand from him. So this was what is making it fresh in my brain right now because I saw the scenario playing out today, just this evening, about an hour ago. So this was what happened. A friend of mine, which is a distant friend, this other person that I know was the closest friend to me, close like somebody when I'm talking. So this person is a third person, then this my friend is the second person. And you get the scenario? Um,
Yeah.
so while he was away, okay, so he brought this guy in. He was the guru person, good at the skill, good at the service, top notch, at least for just a service of what he do. I don't want to pay the scenario. That's what I'm trying to go away from bringing it contest. He's being paid about 50K for just a skill service. You understand my point now? Then he brought somebody to come in, which is his friend. That's the person that I know to come and learn from him. So, and he was like, while I'm going to be away, you will manage my business for me. Number one. While I'm doing that, the reason for doing that is that I want to go and learn a new service to come back and come and teach you. so that we can inculcate this into this business, because the goal of the end, at the end of this, that we can partner together. This person
Mm-hmm.
went on a trip to Abuja. I think for about a month, 2 or 3 years about, but it's not more than 3 months. I'm not sure it's up to 3 months. Before my third friend came back, my second friend has hijacked seemingly his girlfriend, and today they had their introduction. So I met him before I got married, and he was so battered that he said he can't trust any guy again. He said he can't trust any friend again. Like even the so-called religious Christian people. And this guy, of course, a church goer, and I know him. So in fact, I was so surprised when he was saying something. I said, "This person for real? Like, are you serious? Can you imagine that?" So this is somebody entrusting you with his properties. Said before he came back, his business was already scaling down. Like customers were already leaving and all of that. He now had to create his own. So what he did was that he left his business, in short, took his girlfriend, started his own business, started focusing on that. So that's almost like a business shift. You shifted customers from the former clients, because you are the one available, into your own business. So can you get the similitude? So we need to be very much courteous. For me, I was thinking about if I had been in that same shoes, even if I so much love this person so much, I mean this friend, because of the value of friendship, I would despise that, because I would believe that there's no just one friend or one babe out there meant for me. If you're not gonna be for me, there'll be somebody else somewhere. So you can bring this into context into any other space. So far, what you are doing will stab the heart of friendship in someone. Can you avoid doing that? You understand? There was a situation in which I came into beginning of this year versus last year, because I know how sensitive this matter is, as it can really break brotherhood. This person was like my brother, and I had to take a decision of leaving um, his business or his organization. I know the level of impact that will make in his business. I had to sincerely start putting in efforts. He may not even understand the things in which I have to do, the things I have to sacrifice. He may not understand the extent in which I went to ensure that even when I left, it was as though I was still there, number one. Even when I left, the business is not going down. He did not understand. In fact, we started getting back together just about less than a month ago. But if I didn't do that, every time he thinks about the value of the things he has done for me, because really this person really helped my life, I can't doubt that. Of course, he's not the fulcrum of my success, but at some point in time, it was really, really helpful. So I can't, man, Yoruba people say, I can't see something that will affect this person, and then I'll be like, I don't care. So the love I don't care mentality that is within we brothers, that so far is not going to pay me. I mean, if it's not going to benefit me, it's not going to be impactful to me. I don't care what happens. Whoever needs to die, let them die. Whoever needs to feel in pain, let them feel pain. So that mindset needs to be out for us to have a good and long-lasting relationship. Sacrifice time. So I told the person, I'm ready to even give about these numbers of months. Although I'm already out, I don't need to get any benefit from this organization, but I'm ready to give in these numbers of months to sacrifice my time. I've already made up my mind. You understand? So those are the level of sacrifice you can begin to put in because of relationship. Because relationship goes a long way. You're getting back on track right now, so well, like the same brother, because basically later on you realize that this thing is not intentional. You feel bad at the beginning, but at the end you realize that this is just the pure mind in which this person is actually coming with. And we're almost very good as it was before. You understand? So what is this telling us? That any gap can be mended. You can't all the time stab people's ass because you want to find your own good. At least not, even if not for any sake, because of leaving a memory that there's a good guy somewhere. I want to be part of the 1% of the good people. I want to be part of the 1% of the good friends that keeps friendship. I want to be part of the good friends that is so humble that no matter what height I get to, I still have good friends around me. either by me helping them up or by we being in the same settings and nobody's feeling hurt. So I have to be part of those 1% that are good friends. That's just my point. So you can everybody can be part of those 1%. You can be very few. I was telling that lady today, I said good guys can be very few, but I can tell you, obviously speaking, I'm one of those good guys. So if there was 0.001, I said it's only 0.001% husband that is faithful. I said I'm in that 0.001%. So you can be in that 0.001%. There's going to be a faithful friend. There's going to be a faithful husband. There's going to be a faithful brother to your siblings, and that's just a good part of it. So it's wonderful. I don't know if you're there. Mr. John, are you there? I think it's a little bit out. I don't know if you're all hearing me. So maybe let me just take it up from there and round it up. So it's very important for us to relate our hearts to our friends, to our family, people who can truly hear us and who can genuinely receive our gesture of needing love. It is very, very, very important. You can spill love out to someone. You can also receive love, very importantly, so that you won't get tired of giving, so that you won't get tired of showing love. So we as brothers, we as fellow co-gender mates, we need it for our health, our mental sanity. Many people are going into suicidal thoughts because they feel there's no good friend out there that can really help them out. People have backstabbed themselves to a point whereby you feel like, do I even need to have a friend? But I tell you, there's still a good friend out there. There's that 1% good friend that can really help you out. There's that 0.001%, if it's just only 0.01% in the whole world, that can really be that good friend that you really love and that you really ever want to be with. So it's very interesting. Be open to receive love, be open to give love. It's of course much more good to give than to receive. But also, even if it's a small percent, receive the love that's been offered. So that's all I will have to say. Thank you very much for bringing me on to this live. Thank you so much, Mr. John. Thank you so much once again in Citizen. Thanks to Pastor Tolase. That's my co guests on this medium. And I so much appreciate everybody who are still online listening to me at this point in time. God bless you greatly. God bless you. So while I just pause a bit, let's to wait for Mr. John.
Hello, Victor, can you hear me? Hello,
Hello.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Uh, uh, we need to.
Okay, so I guess you can hear me now. All right, I want to appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you all. We had a series of internet issues tonight, but definitely in our next production we will have, worked better than what we have today. In our next section is going to be a preparation. We're going to be preparation towards our conference in August. August, we'll be having Growth Confluence. Growth Confluence 2024. This is going to be the 5th edition. Growth Confluence is formerly what we call the August Conference. For details about it, you will see it on Facebook, you will see it on YouTube, all over. And this year's conference team, let me keep us waiting, anticipate. All right. Once again, I want to appreciate my guest. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pastor Tolase. Thank you so much, Victor Idowu. Thank you so much for joining me. And I say, God bless you. God bless you all in Jesus' name. Until next time, my name is Olafiso Yege. See you in Jesus' name. All right, take care. Thank you. God bless.